Ciao, ka-ciao. Uy. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Amanda, and if you do, nice to see you again. Today is a really special vlog because I am taking you through a really full week. So get cozy and let's get into it. Hi. Hi, Beth. So this week, my parents came to visit me. They came from my hometown and they decided to stay with me for a week. I feel like life is so different since moving out of my parents' house. So like living with them again was so jarring in a way. It just brought me back because I remember how it was living with them. But I remember I did not like it. Like living with family is honestly like one of the biggest challenges, I feel like, for a lot of people, because you don't choose the people that you live with. You don't choose the people that you grow up with, and you're just kind of having to adjust to your environment. Like I feel like ever since moving out, it gave me the opportunity to actually reevaluate how I want to live my life and how I want to keep things in my home. A lot has changed. I changed a lot from last time I lived with them. So when they came back, I was just like... I will say that we have very different living styles. It was so funny to see how we've changed as people, or at least how much I've changed since living with them. I feel like seeing them again in the place of my life right now, in a way I still feel like their daughter, but I also feel like I can approach them and interact with them and see them like individuals rather than my parents. Like I feel like there's not really a hierarchy anymore. Maybe they don't think this way, but I personally feel like I can talk to them more like my friends or just people or just individuals and not as my superiors. And like I still have a lot of respect for them as parents, but I also know I've also gained a lot of life experience. I've also been able to experience life as an adult. I feel like I can really relate to my parents more than I realized. And then speaking of family, it was also my dad's birthday. Woo! But it was Ba's birthday. But yeah, we spent it at White Rock. If you don't know White Rock, it's basically this little like ocean town. And it's super cute. It reminds me a lot of my hometown. We just walked along the water. We grabbed lunch at a random pub. It's so funny to see how much has not changed since moving out from their house. They still are very much a very interesting duo. At the end of the day, like my dad wanted to do a bunch of things. My mom wanted it another way. My mom won. My mom wanted to invite my friends over for my dad's dinner party. Ate some home-cooked Vietnamese food, which was really nice. I haven't had home-cooked Vietnamese food in so long. My friend Jeffrey, he is so sweet. I asked him to draw a picture of my dad and my mom on their wedding day. And so my friend Jeffrey, he drew them and framed it and he gave it to my dad. And I just remember seeing my dad and he was just so happy to see that. And it was just really nice to see him happy because I feel like he's gone through a lot of things in his life. I was really happy to see that. It's been a long time coming. But we finally have it. We got a digi camera. I got a digi camera off of Facebook Marketplace. My seller, I actually love her so much. She was so cute. She really wanted me to be sure that this is the camera that I wanted. So like she had like this whole photo shoot with me. She went like, we took pictures like around her house. We went to a park. I thought it was gonna be like, you know, like those normal Facebook transactions where it's like, oh hi, here's the camera. Okay, I'll give you the money, bye-bye. No, she really took her time. We talked so much. But yeah, I ended up getting it. And I love the camera. It's waterproof, shockproof, and I've been using this nonstop. I love her. I love her. Nikon Coolpix. Nikon Coolpix, everyone. It's a W. It's a win. And then my friend Jeffrey, everyone knows Jeffrey at this point. He's like my conjoined twin in spirit. But yeah, Jeffrey came over and he is so creative. He just wanted to make clay charms, so he brought all of his stuff. He wanted to make like little mushroom magnets. I had a completely different idea. I made, here, I'll get them. I like yap so much. I initially made this little guy. His name is Bart. We're gonna hear, hi Bart. He's like a little matcha bunny. Here's his little matcha cup. Jeffrey said it looked like a burrito, which made me really sad, but let's pretend like it's giving matcha. It's a matcha bunny. I also made this little bear. Okay, let's do it like the YouTubers. And then I made this little cookie, this little bunny cookie. And then I made this little frog with his, and I gave him a little scarf. And by the way, these were all inspired by Uncomfy on YouTube. She's this like crazy talented polymer clay artist. I used her designs as a template. And then I made this little guy, this little mushroom. And then I made this little panda and he's holding a little tulip. And then I made Gandalf. I'm probably gonna give it to my sister because she loves Lord of the Rings. My brother-in-law also loves Lord of the Rings, so they're gonna get a little Gandalf for Christmas. Guys, if you're watching this, skip. Okay. My friend from Victoria came to visit me. Her name is Mariel, and I've been friends with her for, I'd say almost 10 years because we met each other in freshman year of high school. But she came over and we decided to hit Jollibee. And I love Jollibee. Like, Jollibee, if you're listening to me, please open a place next to me. Because you will not go out of business as long as I'm alive. But yeah, I went to Jollibee with my friend Mariel and it was so good. The chicken, immaculate. Spaghetti, mwah. How do you say delicious in Tagalog? Okay, insert Tagalog delicious here. It was so good. I was super happy. I color coordinated my outfit to mark this special day of going to Jollibee, and I have no regrets. And then I went to a cafe with my friend that I met at the pumpkin painting event, and he is so cool. We went to like a little cafe called Ellipsis. If you live in Vancouver, then you probably know this cafe because it's super hyped up. It's super trendy. But we went there and it was super nice. And I'm not just talking about the cafe, but I'm just talking about the conversation that I had with my friend. What really makes a lot of experiences is who you're with. And I feel like the things that we talked about during this hangout was very insightful and very meaningful to me. I remember talking to my friend, Grisham. We were talking about family and what we were looking for in the future. And he asked me, because we were on the topic of my sister who really wants to build a big family. And so he was curious about me, did I want the same thing? But then he asked me what was I looking for in a partner. And I told him, I want someone who allows our kids to grow up authentically themselves. And I want my partner to be able to have that vision with me. And Grisham, he is so insightful because he really called me out and saying that that's interesting because you're only ever talking about how you want your partner to be with your kids, but you don't really talk about how you want your partner to be with yourself. I feel like I've grown up in a very family-oriented environment, and I think that definitely influenced me. I have to go to work. We'll be back. Hi, I'm back from work, which is why I look so disheveled. But I'm drinking some pineapple juice. Yeah, it's really good. It's interesting because I feel like I know what I'm looking for in a partner. Before I even ever started dating, or before I got into my first relationship, I made like a list of qualities that I was looking for in a potential partner. And I had 4 categories. I have to pull up my Notion. So the first one is qualities and must-haves. The second one is their physical appearance and personality. Then the next category is like, it would be nice if they had it, but it's not a deal breaker if they don't. And then the fourth would be absolutely cannot and will not. So it would be like the deal breakers. I remember making a very in-depth list of all of these qualities, and I journaled on it and I really thought about it. But it's very interesting because even though I've done that work, whenever anyone asks me what my family would look like in the future, I never really tell them the kind of person I want my partner to be. It's mainly been focused on the kids. And I guess I just associate family with the word children, but your future partner is also family as well. And I think that was really interesting to notice. And then we have Halloween. This is my first ever Halloween party. I've never had a Halloween party. First of all, because I don't drink. Second of all, because I did not have friends to do it with. So I was really happy when all of the friends that I made here really wanted to do a Halloween party as well. Me and my friends, we dressed up in a theme, and that was like a mythical forest theme. I dressed up as a fairy. So we took a lot of pictures. I held the Halloween party in my apartment. We decorated the walls, and then we listened to like Halloween music in the background. It was just like a YouTube playlist. Honestly, it was like just a mix of random songs. And there was like one Halloween song.
Okay, that sounds so sad.
This is a Halloween song? Yeah, right? It's a Halloween song.
But yeah, it was weird. My friend Kayan, they brought like a bunch of like cupcakes and little treats. And then Spencer brought some ingredients for caramel apples. So we made caramel apples. I've never had a caramel apple before. So this is like reliving my childhood dreams. I remember when I was small, my dad and I would go to, there's like this little terminal for ferries, and I remember I used to walk through that terminal with my dad. And I remember there was this shop. It was a sweet shop, and it had a display of really beautiful caramel apples. And I remember looking at them and just being in awe because of how pretty they were and how delicious they looked. But I could not afford it. So I was like, one day I'm gonna eat a caramel apple. And I guess today was that day. It was honestly really hard to eat. It's very messy, but I'm really happy that I got to experience that. I think that might be the one and only time I did that. But no regrets. Jeffrey and I kind of just like rotted on the couch, which is pretty typical. And then everyone else did their thing. It was really nice spending time with them. Sip, sip. So that concludes today's vlog. Thank you for listening. What else do I have to say? I don't know. I'm not used to this. I'm not a YouTuber, but I am. But I'm not. Thank you so much for watching and being with me throughout these little moments and listening to me ramble, because I really don't make sense, but I'm glad you're here. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.